This is Sparta!
Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we're going to be taking a look at a brand new, well, it's been out for a few, but I'm a little slow. So we're going to look at the Yazi, guys. The Yazi WZ-120-1GFT. We're just going to call it the Yazi. So, what do we got to look forward to? It's a Tier 8 tank destroyer. It's absolutely a beast. It's going to remind you a lot of the SU-122-44, even though the SU-122-44 is a lower tier. It's a Tier 7. This is a Tier 8. The mobility is very, very good. It can get up to 50, though you usually don't feel like you're going 50. You'll spend most of your time 36 to 40 miles or kilometers an hour. Traverse speed, very good again, 42 degrees per second. Your hull armor is a lot better than the hull armor on the 122-44, which makes sense because bigger tier. You also have 1,100 hit points instead of, what was it, 740, 840? I can't remember from the 122-44. But anyway, so you got 120 millimeters of sloped frontal armor, which means you can bounce rounds. The one thing that I will say right off the bat is that the gun depression isn't, the greatest. It's not bad. I want to say it's 6 degrees. But yeah, it's somewhere in that neighborhood. It's not as good as it could be, considering it's supposed to be like built to shoot over a ridgeline or whatever, or sit at a ridgeline. Hence the sloped armor. But with that lack of gun depression, because the gun, I'm assuming because the back of the gun would hit the top of the tank, that's what limits your gun depression. But it's got a really small profile, which means good things. It will bounce rounds occasionally, though I wouldn't rely on it. Just like the rest of the Chinese. This is actually the best Chinese tank destroyer I've used so far. But that being said, I'm only up to Tier 6. The Tier 6 feels a lot like this, except it doesn't bounce anything. But that being said, plays up to Tier 10, so no preferential matchmaking, has a 50% silver bonus and 15% XP bonus. So 50% 50 on silver and 15 on premium or on XP. The armor penetration is very good on the 122 millimeter gun, so you're going to be putting out pretty decent damage. 440 average damage for the regular rounds and armor piercing rounds. You got 248 millimeters of armor penetration on the standard round, 310 millimeters of penetration on the premium round. But I'll be honest, you don't really need to use the premiums all that often, or at least I haven't. At Tier 8s, you're going to be plenty enough to deal with most tanks. You see here that I'm on the ridge line on Scorpion Pass, and we're just going to try to just get what we can. The T-69's just playing outside of our way. I believe this is a tier, yeah, it is a Tier 9 match. It's not a Tier 10, but definitely not top tier. But it doesn't feel bad. Sometimes when you're not top tier, it feels bad. But not in this tank. This tank it's not a frontline tank, though it can hold its own against its own tier. I've played a few games in it, and there's nothing really bad to say about it. It's a good-looking tank. It does come with its own camo, so I will say that. I know a lot of you guys like to pick your own camos and whatnot, but purchasing the camo is in the pay price, right? So that's not too bad. Now, we come over here to help these guys initially because we feel like they're in a bad way. This T-54 lightweight's going to get just out of the way. We derp it. We didn't give it a chance to aim in. That's one of the downsides of it, but with any tank destroyer, you're going to have trouble with aiming. It takes so long. This 122 takes 2.9 seconds without any of the boosts. So it can be managed, 3 seconds. Oh, hello, little guy. Pow! 448 is right in your wheelhouse, no problem. But yeah, then we noticed this little T-69 over here. We're going to go introduce ourselves to him. But I will say, having the mobility, not to mention the camo and all that stuff, to be able to make your way around the battlefield and pick your shots is so key and so crucial, especially in, you know, today's world of tanks, which is fast-paced combat. Now look at this T-69. He knows at this point he in trouble. You know, I don't have a good crew in this or anything like that. This is just their stock crew that they give me that has no perks or nothing. I ram him, and we pretty much trade damage there. But he's having trouble pinning me, and I'm having absolutely no trouble pinning his little butt. Everybody shooting at me from distance is bouncing. Like I said, I don't rely on people to bounce. However, it does come in handy when they do. So what's shooting at us? Oh, that little Panther. We'll auto-lock him, and look at the accuracy. 0.37 dispersion at 100 meters. That's plenty for most tank destroyers. You're not going to miss very many shots. You're going to be able to put as many shots downrange as possible. And you're just going to be able to bully people for the most part. We got this T-69 again. And he's going to push up over the ridgeline in a second thinking he's got enough, and he just doesn't. Now the Emil 1 that's up there, tier 8 tank, I go to shoot him and he gets rammed out of the way, so I completely miss the shot. But, you know, it's going to happen occasionally. Now this T-69, I'm not sure exactly what he thought. Maybe he's just baiting me over for his buddies to try to shoot at, but it's a little too late for him. And you'll see here, he's like, I gotta get out of here. Too late. Good night. And down he goes. That's our second kill of the game. 7 pins. We've got a T-28 prod up there, and I tell the guys that are on the ridgeline, I'm like, hey guys, you guys are good up there, right? I ain't got to worry about getting shot by that gun, right? And yeah, he's pretty much good. They already put a big hit on him, and now they're pretty much just going to run in and kill him. Now, well, there's a VK-100 in their base, and so immediately I'm like, all right, got to throw in the heat rounds. Because, you know, big, heavy armor, sloped. It's probably a good idea to go ahead and run with your heat, because a lot of the time you're going to get a flat spot to shoot at. That being said, if you're going to do what I'm going to do, probably heat not your best option, but you know, what can you do? It works. But as you can see, the tank is very mobile. I like the look of it. The camo looks great. Especially in this environment. Maybe not so much in a desert, but in this environment it looks great. It's just a good tank. I really have nothing bad to say about it. It's just a solid gun platform. Now we put a round into the side of him, risking hitting the tracks with that heat, but as you can see, he was not long for this world. Game over. Lots of good people doing what we do. So what do we end up with, guys? 3,100 damage, 2 kills, not bad. 98,000 silver at tier 8, that's pretty good paycheck in a premium tank. 2,000 XP earned, and you can see Mastery Class 3, so some of you guys out there having amazing games in this thing. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.